The audio is pretty bad, I know that. People are not able to understand what the words are at the back, but I'll try to do the best. I'll try to scream so that you can understand. So, I want people to sit. I just wanted to ask this question. How many of you cannot understand Telugu? Can you just lift up your hands? How many of you cannot understand Telugu? Right. Pardon?
Just handful. Five.
Okay. The reason I asked that question, I should have asked in the beginning, because a lot of people were commenting that probably my English is not good. That's why they said you could have better spoken in Telugu. I understood. It's pretty late, but maybe I thought, let me try. I'll try to make it 50-50. That's what I'll try to do. I'm just giving time so that people come. Oh, yeah, it's working. Good. Can you reduce the volume? Well, I want to thank the Texas Bible Believers Fellowship for inviting me to this conference, and I really enjoyed. Probably this is the biggest conference I addressed in US. There were a couple of them, but not as big as this. But I did one bigger than this, but that's not an Indian one. It's a Portuguese. That's the huge one. 2,000 people were there, all from Poland. And I spoke in Arizona, so that's the biggest one. Well, I also spoke in CBN. There were about 15,000, but that's also not Indian. But as far as the Indian is concerned, I believe this is the biggest one. And I thank the fellowship for inviting me. If I was not coming this year, I would have come to Houston next year, but they invited me and booked me for the next year, but they have a rule that the sales speaker cannot be there for 2 consecutive conferences, so they asked me to drop off, so it's okay. Well, I preached, and I believe that you enjoyed. And to straight away get into the ministry, I want to take a couple of minutes to tell about myself. And if you remember me anytime, pray for 2 kinds of ministry me and my wife are involved with. 2 kinds of ministry. Number 1, it's called Redeem Ministries. We started way back in 2012. We started a ministry among LGBT, and predominantly our ministry is among transgenders. Napumsakulu antaru, Shandulu antaru, colloquial language lo, common language lo, Kojjavallu antaru. So, వాళ్ళ మధ్యన మేము పరిచయం చేస్తాం. That's what we are doing, me and my wife. We have 12 churches, 12 సంఘాలు. Me and my wife, we seriously prayed and asked Lord what kind of ministry we should do. In fact, I had 2 conditions, like 2 kinds of ways to find out whether it is from God or not. Number 1, I want to do a ministry which is non-competitive. Like, నేను చేసే పరిచర్య ఇంకొకరికి ఇబ్బందికరంగా ఉండకూడదు. That's what I mean by non-competitive. Number 2, I showed this ministry to my wife, so she started it. In the beginning it was difficult for me to accept, but it took a couple of months to agree, and then we took off, and the ministry is going well. It's a pretty slow ministry. It goes very slow, very slow, pretty expensive, and we had to face a lot of questions from the people, and many Christians doubted me. They doubted my character. They doubted my status. They thought that I was a gay. So that's why I had to make a statement. No, I'm straight. Pastors were working with us, and we worked together. To give you a kind of an idea how difficult this ministry is, we started this ministry 7 years ago. In these 7 years, I spent 7.2 million Indian rupees, 72 lakhs, okay? And 10 people, we worked together, and till now we had 30 baptisms. That's very tough, and we have to push a lot. So I appreciate if you can remember this in your prayers. India is fast catching up with the LGBT community all over the world. We have some top leaders as far as LGBT community is concerned in India. In Tamil, there is a program on Vijaya TV, An Evening with Roja.